Hey students, tonight we're going to talk about quadratic functions and finding the domain and range. Okay, let's review. Remember, the equation for a quadratic function is f of x equals ax squared plus bx plus c. Remember, f of x is the same as saying y. Okay, also our domain, remember domain is the set of x values and range is our set of y values. Also talk about open and closed circles. Remember, if it's a closed circle, that means there's a line underneath my inequality and there's no break in the graph. Like it's just a smooth line. For an open circle, okay, there's nothing in, it's not filled in, there's no line underneath my inequality.
Teachers, just a reminder, Ms. Anderson sent an email out today about computer activities for today's monitoring. All fourth periods need to make sure that they perform that activity. Thank you.
Okay, well, we're going to continue. Sorry about the announcement. And open circle means there's no line underneath my inequality, and there is a break in the graph. So the graph stops at some point. Okay? Now, if A is positive, so if my A value is positive, the graph opens up and has a minimum vertex. Okay, has a minimum vertex. If the A is negative, the graph opens down and it has a maximum vertex. So, to find the range, find the minimum or the maximum y value of the graph. If it is a minimum, the range is always going to be y is greater than or equal to whatever that number is. And for the maximum, it's going to be y is less than or equal to whatever that number is. Alright, so let's look at an example. So, example 1. Remember, for example 1, for domain, we look at the left side to the right side. Draw a little bracket. So what is the left value? If we look, it's about negative 3.5. Now, is that an open or a closed circle? Well, with an open circle, so there's no line underneath it. And then x less than, and now we're going to find our right value. So we look all the way over to the right value, and that's at a positive 4. My little bracket, it's not very pretty. Okay, and so that, now on the right, is it an open or a closed circle? Well, since it's a closed circle, there is a line underneath it. So that would be my domain. Remember, you look from the left to the right. Now, for range, we find our minimum or our maximum. Well, in this case, it opens up, so we have a minimum vertex. So we're going to go to our vertex. And whatever that value is, the y value there, right here is our vertex. Whatever the y value is, that's our point. So we're going to have, since it's a minimum, since we have a minimum right here, it's y is greater than or equal to, and whatever that y value is, which is negative 4. So that would be my range. Now, let's look at the next example, the last example. Okay, for domain, anytime you have arrows on both sides of your quadratic, your domain is all real numbers. Okay, it's all real numbers because it's never going to stop. An arrow tells me it keeps going and going and going, and it never stops. So the way we write that is we put a double R. Okay, so you may see it written like that, or it may just say all real numbers. But that would be my domain. And now, for range, again, if it opens down, right here, if it opens down, we have a maximum. So for maximum, it's always y is less than or equal to whatever that number is. So we know our range is going to be y is less than or equal to, and now let's go find our vertex. Our vertex is right here, and that is and the y value there is 3, so it's y is less than or equal to 3. So that would be my range. Okay, make sure you have these notes. We will be doing an activity tomorrow with this, and have a wonderful night. Adios.